hugs and kisses on my toodles. Happy Sunday. Happy God Day. It is church. It is Sunday. It is God's day. I really would have loved to go on to church today, but, well, we still have time, but kind of busy, my husband and I, today. We're going to be working on getting my mother-in-law's room somewhat cleaned, ready for me to get moved in. Hopefully, sometime this week or next week, I will be moving in that room. I have not taken a lot down in here, but I'm trying. I have been rearranging some things and coming up with, I've been watching a lot of videos coming up with ideas. So I'm very excited about that one. So anyway, on top of that, let's get into this book. So we're on chapter 5. I think I have like 2 or 3 more chapters to read. That's about it. But that's not bad. How to apply foundation and powder correctly. Right? Right. Okay. For years now, you have simply been in love with makeup. You are encouraged by the various application methods that people use, and you love to stay on top of new styles, trending product, depending on your affection for makeup. You're not quite sure how to apply foundation and powder correctly. Since these are easy, learning the basics quite important. For me, I put on my face primer. I put on an eyeshadow base, eyeshadow primer. Then I put on my concealer. Then I put on liquid foundation, then powder foundation. Then my eyeliner, my eyeshadow. No, I don't put on powder foundation. After my liquid foundation, I put on my eyeliner and my eyeshadow. Then I put on powder foundation. Then I put on my highlighter and contour, and then blush, and then another powder foundation, which may make my face look a lot of wrinkly and cakey, but that's how I do it until I can find another way of doing it, and that's how I'm doing it right now. Choosing the right product. Before you can apply product correctly, you need to be sure that you have the right one on hand. Going to a store where you can actually try the foundation and powder is most available. Otherwise, you could end up with colors that are not right for you. Colors that are too dark can actually make your face look dirty. I know that. Or over tanned. Selecting shades that are too light might mean that you are not receiving enough coverage at all. If you wear, I have wore foundation that looked light because I thought, I was like a light foundation, and I used to wear that when I would go to school, and the teachers would walk in and say, "Christina, you look pale. You look white as a ghost. Are you sick?" You look at my forehead now. Look at me now. It's like, it's pretty, but my forehead looks white. Like, I just put a whole bunch of white on my forehead. But I think I look pretty good. Even though I walked in the bedroom, my husband didn't say nothing, but that's okay. Selecting the right application tools. Now you have the foundation, the loose powder in your hand. You must also obtain the right tools with which applies them grandly. Opportunity less expensive brushes is fine, and you still obtain a flawless look with them. A big powder brush works best for powder applications, as it helps to ensure an even distribution. This can also be used as a blending tool. As far as the foundation, you have a couple of different options. Wedge-shaped sponge tends to work well, and we all discussed the use of a finger application in that selection. You can use your fingers to apply liquid foundation. My mother used to, because she never had a makeup brush or sponge. Then we went to the 99-cent store, I believe it was, or Dollar Tree or something one day. It was 99-cent store. And she saw these triangle sponges, and she bought them and started using them for foundation, as well as I did. I knew, now we have beauty blenders, and I use a beauty blender. Using your finger to apply foundation. Some people say that this is the best way to apply foundation. One of the perks is that you won't waste as much makeup when you use a sponge. A different amount of the foundation per the purpose of a sponge. You may end up having to replace your foundation more often than you would like. With your finger, you would put a few drops on your face gently on your forehead, cheeks, chin, and then work to blend them together. Trying out different methods to see what works for you. When I put my foundation on my beauty blender, I go here, 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 and here, and then I blend it in. Some people go dot like this. I don't want to sit here and do all this. It takes forever. But it probably would work better if I did that. Amount to use. Many women do not know how much foundation and powder they should be using. Some of them don't use enough, and then wind up with practically no coverage at all. However, most of the problems come from the other end of the spectrum. Women who go overboard with the product. When you are applying your makeup, you should start out with a small amount. You can start on your bottom area first and then blend the parts of your face. The amount of foundation you put on your sponge could be the size of a nickel, and you likely get a decent amount of coverage out of it. Then you can add more if necessary. I put 3 drops of foundation on my sponge when I do it, just 3 drops to cover my face. And then let your foundation dry. You got a liquid foundation on, let it dry. Some takes maybe 2 or 3 minutes, not that long. And once it's dry, then you can apply whatever else. But if you're applying something and your liquid foundation is still wet, it's going to end up looking crappy. Here's a lot of people make big mistakes. When you first put your foundation on your skin, it's going to be a little wet, just like paint. It needs time to dry before you put anything on top of that. Start to work on your hair and go back up your bag while your foundation is drying on your face. Usually just 5 minutes or so. Do the trick. If you put powder on top of wet foundation, you're going to end up with a sprinkly and gooky mess. That means it's going to be cakey. And it's not going to look so hot. It's literally going to look cakey. It's going to flake off your face and look ugh. And you don't want to look ugh. Loose powder as a setter. Some women try to use loose powder as another layer of foundation. And this is not quite what is intended for. Yes, it does help to give you more coverage and to provide a flawless look to your face. However, it also helps to set the makeup and to make you appear polished after foundation application. Your polish should be covered, for the most part. A few nice wipes of loose powder over your face will give that skin an even looser deserve. Setting powder, you can use setting powder before or after you set your face. Sometimes I use it after. I have used it before my foundation. Facial mist. I have used I can't even talk. I have used face mist before and after my foundation. I'm using the Mario Badescu water, and I spray it after my face. And I love the way I look when I do after, because sometimes it gives me that gorgeous look and it keeps my makeup on, and sometimes it has given me a, I have sprayed it on my face before I put foundation, before I've done my makeup, and you see a difference every time, but I do like putting it on after my makeup. Applying other products. Remember, you need these products to work with your other makeup items as well. Putting a little bit of foundation on your eyelids can work as a nice base for powder eyeshadow. As with loose powder, foundation must dry before you apply the eyeshadow. Just be careful to not do anything of it in your eye. You're going to be wearing bronzer and blush as well. Once all the products are on, use a big blush to enjoy what everything is completely blended together. One thing I do have is a brush up here, and I just recently got a new brush that I put in my drawer. I have a brush I'm looking at now right up here, and as soon as I get into the new room, I'm going to get it out. I have a blending brush already that I used to, do the blend, the contour, the blush, and the highlighter. But I'm going to use this brush to put on the last powder that I do on my face, my setting powder and whatever else. And I have a brush for that. A few notes on treated moisturizer. Okay. Every time you go into foundation, analyze your local store. You've seen some tinted moisturizers. You're cautious to know more about these types of products. Well, they're great additives to foundation if you do not need a lot of coverage for your skin. Excuse me. Basically, they provide your skin with some moisturizer that needs. They also give you a little bit of coverage. Some of them might have pink undertones, and others may help give you a bit of tan. They're very in their design forms, but they work to serve a smaller foundation coverage without that heavy filling. Ladies, you have plenty of options to more to come to the world of foundations and powders. After selecting the right products, you now know how to put them on your face in a correctly manner. Next Sunday, we'll get into chapter 6. With just 2 more chapters, 6 and 7. And that is it. And we're done. Oops. Just 2 more chapters, like I said, 2 or 3 more chapters. 2 more chapters, and we're done with that book. So if you like this book, you can buy it off of Amazon. That's where I got mine, is off of Amazon for, I believe it was $5 and something plus shipping. If you like videos like this, give it a thumbs up. I'll try to find some more makeup books eventually and buy them and maybe read them on here, but I have to soon, maybe. We'll see. So until next time, I love you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you want to be notified on more videos I'm doing. Until next time, guys, I love you and bye.